You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
What's up, Black and White sports fans? John the Matrix here, and I'm back with another video. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Also, check out the join button for channel memberships, and also check out the merch. And really, before I get in this video, you probably saw my post that I posted on YouTube that all of the audio files from the YouTube videos will now be uploaded to the podcast. So if you're listening on the podcast, obviously you're listening if you're listening to this now. But if you're on YouTube, make sure you check out the audio files for the podcast and support us there. Also, check out the merch as well. Let's get into this, folks. We're going to the WNBA. And I put up a video yesterday talking about the WNBA. And one player was trying to basically say that there's a gender pay gap between Sue Bird and LeBron James. And she was kind of insinuating that they should be paid equally. Now, we all know that the WNBA does not have the revenue that the NBA has. Okay. The NBA got close to $9 billion in revenue, whereas the WNBA got $25 million. So that is why they're paid differently. Okay. But Sue Bird, she actually addressed the issue of why the WNBA is not as popular as women's soccer. Okay. And of course, she played the race card. Now, she couldn't play the gender card, because this is all women we're talking about. WNBA is all women, and we're talking about women's soccer also. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, folks, I don't watch women's soccer. Okay, I'm not really a soccer fan. I don't even watch men's soccer. I'm just not into soccer. Okay, I'm just not into it. I don't watch the WNBA. It's not a product that I'm interested in. And I already said before that the WNBA does a really, really poor job at marketing their product. But this is what she said is the reason why the USWNT, which is women's soccer, why they receive more praise and respect. And the reason she gave is that women's soccer, they have cute little white girls. So she had to play the race card, okay? But to go in more in depth, this is her actual quote here, okay? She says, quote, "To be completely blunt, but also kind of simple, soccer players generally are cute little white girls. And I think basketball players, we're all shapes and sizes. We have 70 to 80% black women, a lot of gay women. We're tall, we're big. And I think there's just maybe like this intimidation factor with that. People are quick to talk about it, judge it, put it down. And soccer, you just don't see that just based on how they look. How society and how the outside world is willing to accept the cute girl next door, but not willing to accept or embrace, or I guess not judge these basketball players who are tall, black, gay. That kind of, to me, where the issue is. So there you have it. That is what Sue Bird said about pretty much the unpopularity of the WNBA. It's because they're black and they're tall. Now, I can really kind of make the same comparison to the NBA, okay? The NBA is super popular, okay? The NBA players, they are tall. They're much taller than the average person. Just like in the WNBA, the women are much taller than the average woman. It's the same thing. They're also black. Now, she did bring in the gay factor to it, too. Yes, there's a lot of homosexuals in the WNBA. I don't know how many, but we know that they exist because Sue Bird is a part of the alphabet community, the LGBTQ plus WXYZ. They keep adding letters all the time. So that is her excuse as to why the WNBA is unpopular. And I'm going to call BS on that. I'm going to call BS pretty much the same reason I talked about on my last video, man. The WNBA is just not a good product. It's not a good product, man, and they keep losing money. This league really should have went under like 10 years ago. It really should. Because the WNBA, man, when you look at it, they're losing money all the time. That's why a lot of these players, they go overseas and they make much more money playing in Europe, playing in China, Japan, wherever. They play outside of the U.S. and they make more money. And I don't think race comes into it, man. Because basketball, when you think of basketball, let's be honest, you think of black people playing the game for the most part, mainly because, of mega superstars, like Michael Jordan or LeBron James. That's just the way it is. Now, I don't see women's soccer here in the U.S. being that popular. I really don't. I can't speak to the attractive factor of women's soccer players. I just can't. But for her to just play this race card right here, talking about how there's a bunch of cute little white girls, and just because she plays in a sport that's predominantly black, she automatically jumps on the race card. No, the WNBA is just poorly run. Women's soccer is run much better. There's no other way to put it, man. That's just the facts of it. Your league, the WNBA, doesn't know how to run its league. And without the help of the NBA, that league would be under. That's just the facts. And your players in the WNBA, they have to go overseas to make their money because your league is unpopular. And the WNBA has done nothing to help themselves. You can't make your league popular if the league is not willing to invest in itself. They're just not doing it, man. And I know that the WNBA, man, I know that they have some very good players. I know that Sue Bird is a very good player. I know that. Diana Taurasi, great player. She was really fun to watch at UConn when she played college basketball. The same with Breanna Stewart. She is a great player. But women's college basketball is much more popular than the WNBA. I don't think that's even a question. And it's the same deal. Tall women, predominantly black, and probably a lot of lesbians over there. But college basketball is just much more popular. So I think it's a problem with the WNBA itself. And I do not agree with Sue Bird pulling out the race card. She made it a white and black issue. And she's actually dating somebody that plays women's soccer, Megan Rapinoe. I believe that's her name. And she loves to kneel for the national anthem. So she's doing no favors to soccer anyway. But Megan Rapinoe, she's super woke too. And she's agreeing with all of this, She's over there kneeling for the national anthem. She's playing the race card and all of this, I just don't agree with any of this. This is just complete and utter foolishness to me, okay? With everything that you're saying, Sue Bird, you should be taking up these issues with the WNBA. You need to make your league better. You have to make it better. At one point, the NBA wasn't very popular. 1970s, man, the NBA finals were on tape delay. It was on tape delay because it was very unpopular. And then what happened? The right players came in, Bird, Magic, they made it popular. Then Michael Jordan came in, and then bam, it just took off. You guys have stars for women's basketball. Why doesn't the WNBA market the players? That's the problem. That's the genius of David Stern, man. He marketed the players. That's what made the NBA very, very popular. And the WNBA is just not doing that. There's no commercials for the WNBA. They don't promote their stars. And it's unfortunate, man. I didn't even know who Sue Bird actually played for. She won the WNBA finals. I didn't know. Nobody was watching the WNBA finals because they don't market themselves. It has nothing to do with race. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Do you actually agree with Sue Bird that women's soccer is much more popular than the WNBA because of race? I don't agree with that. I just told you why. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.